From Lisa saving a whale to Homer showing fatherly love, these are 10 moments from The Simpsons that are insanely touching, wholesome, and emotional. We're talking about the kind of emotional that give you that warm, fuzzy feeling inside, and we're gonna start from the least heartwarming moment and work our way up to the most heartwarming. Number 1. We're gonna start with the time Lisa tried to save a whale from dying. What was really heartwarming about this was the effort she made and the length she went to save this beached blue whale called Bluella from dying. She solicited the help of her parents to save the poor creature from dying on land. Homer tried to seek the help of the townspeople, but it didn't change anything. Marge didn't want to get Lisa's hopes up because she knew that whales that stay out of the water for too long don't tend to survive. Lisa was beside Bluella all day, making sure it got the comfort and support it needed. So she stayed up all night reading excerpts from the poem The World Below the Brine from the poetry collection Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. The moment that really brought the waterworks was when Lisa woke up to find Bluella dead. It was such a touching scene, and best believe Lisa had a hard time letting Bluella go, especially after the bond they shared. It's quite evident from this scene that we can't get what we want anytime, no matter how hard we try. And the same can be said about this next moment because it was so heartwarming it transcends beyond the animated world of The Simpsons to our world. Number 2. In 2013, the voice actress of Edna Crabapple, Marcia Wallace, passed on. Because of this, the producers of The Simpsons decided to retire Edna rather than replace her. This was such a huge honor following Maria Wallace's death, and Edna's last appearance was made in the season 25 episode The Man Grew Too Much, where Ned recounts how he loved her so much. In the episode Dairy Queen, Ned mourns his wife's death after he comes across a diary she had written about their relationship, and it turns out Edna was really in love with her husband. In order to keep the memory of his beloved wife, Ned decided to take over from where Edna had stopped on her teaching journey.
Sure do miss that laugh.
Sensational, but a more sensational moment would be one from another heartwarming moment in the series. The first episode of Season 2. It's not new to us that Bart isn't one to focus on reading his books and passing his exams.
Okay. Why are we dancing around the obvious? I know it, you know it, I am dumb, okay? Dumb as a post.
But in this episode, we see that side of him that struggles so hard to pass his final papers when his teacher, Mrs. Edna Crabapple, informs him that he would repeat 4th grade if he doesn't do well in his test. Bart went to the extent of seeking Martin Prince's help, the class nerd, to help him during study hours with regards to his upcoming test. After studying thoroughly the day before the test, the next day, Bart still failed the test with only 1 mark needed to give him a passing. The little guy wept profusely, reminiscing the efforts he put into studying. Seeing Bart genuinely cry evoked mixed feelings, and the emotion that dominated all others was sadness. This was so heartbreaking for us, and probably for the writers, who decided to juice up the story at this point. Bart compared how he felt at that point to the instance where the first president of the United States, when he gave up Fort Necessity to the French. Mrs. Edna was so impressed by his applied knowledge, she gave him a passing mark, and that's just how Bart left 4th grade. The heartwarming part of this episode was seeing how excited Bart was after all hope had been lost. Number 4. What makes the next moment heartwarming is a father going the extra mile just to give his daughter a better life.
Why aren't there any pictures of Maggie?
Well, I'm glad you asked. It's actually a very interesting story.
Lisa wondered why Maggie's picture is not in the family album, and this is when Homer reminisced how that came about. Flashing back down memory lane, Homer finally got his dream job at the bowling alley. This excitement led to sexual intercourse with Marge, which made her pregnant. Homer was so upset with the news because he just got started with his new job and he wouldn't have had enough funds to cater for the child. He had no other option but to return to his former job at the nuclear power plant, of which he despised greatly.
Don't forget, you're here forever.
Mr. Burns did not even make Homer's return easy, as he kept on plaguing him with the fact that he had no other place to go. Moreover, Homer's view of things changed right after Maggie was born. He hung a lot of photos of her all over the wall in his workspace, where the plaque was hung as well, and now it read, "Do it for her." That act alone was so touching, but Homer bonding with his mother for the first time in many years was more heartwarming. Number 5.
I thought you were dead!
I thought you were dead.
In this episode, Homer is shocked to learn his mother, Mona, is not only alive, but a fugitive from the law. By this, we mean she is still wanted, and thus her bonding moments with Homer would not last for long. By the end of the episode, she flees again. Her departure leaves a frustrated Homer sitting on the hood of the family car, looking at stars and pondering life. The saddest part of this episode was when Homer had to watch his mother disappear again. The scene at the end of this episode was so emotional and heart-wrenching for Homer. But at least this time around, he got to say goodbye to her before she left.
Remember, whatever happens, you have a mother, and she's truly proud of you.
Number 6. Yep, we know of the fact that brainy Lisa most of the time wasn't so confident in herself. In the episode Lisa's Substitute, we found out that she doesn't really fit in with the Simpsons family. Mr. Bergstrom, Lisa's substitute teacher, is the only person who understands Lisa and can relate to how she feels about certain things.
This man makes you feel like there's nobody better.
Your father does that to me.
Now, she thinks highly of him, but unfortunately, Mr. Bergstrom will be leaving Springfield as he got a new job at the capital city. It was so hard to see Lisa sprint after the train Mr. Bergstrom was in. But Mr. Bergstrom left her with a note which read, "You are Lisa Simpson." Moral lesson, fall in love with the person you are. With that, you can become a better version of yourself. And just like that, Lisa went from being a nerd to the President of the United States. Number 7. From Moe's dating escapades, we know of how he dated a woman named Maya, whom he met on a dating site. Little did he know that she was a little person. When he found out, he was initially afraid to introduce her to people, but he eventually proposed to her. She almost accepted, but because Moe kept making inappropriate jokes about her height, she left angrily. He even went as far as to arrange a surgical procedure so that he was the same height as Maya, but he never went ahead with the operation. However, Maya reappears and Moe struggles with feelings of inadequacy. Long shown to be depressed, lonely, and even suicidal, Moe still truly cares for Maya and eventually works up the courage to ask for her hand in marriage. She accepts, proving that even after all these years, the Simpsons still know how to provide a sweet and satisfying ending. In fact, this moment occurring so far into the show's run gives it an extra heavy impact. We do have hope that whatever is meant for you will always find its way back into your life. For this next heartwarming moment, Homer gets a gift for Lisa in the episode Lisa's Sacks by letting go of the air conditioner he saved $200 for. Homer's love for his children is portrayed in this episode when Lisa's psychologist urges Homer and Marge to nurture her gift so it would yield good fruit in the future. Homer chooses Lisa's happiness at this point by getting her a saxophone rather than purchasing the air conditioner. The crazy part was that there was a terrible heat wave in Springfield, but Homer just wanted to see Lisa smile. What is more heartwarming than a good father moment? It is always nice seeing such an irresponsible character take up responsibility and show how caring he can be. Number 9. We are conversant with Selma's quest for finding true love and building a beautiful family. On one of these occasions, she met the popular movie star Troy McClure, and the pair fell in love and even got married. But soon, we discovered that it was just a sham Troy used to boost his flagging career. Selma, in her desperation to settle down, still agreed to go on with the marriage. However, as time went on, Troy's agent informed him that in order to gain more likes from the public, he would need to have a baby with Selma. This was when Selma explained that she could endure a loveless marriage, but she wasn't willing to bring a baby into a loveless marriage and family, so she broke it off and went away. It must have been so hard for her to make that decision, considering everything she left behind. Well, there are certain sacrifices we must make if we want to be happy. Now, this last moment wasn't only touching, but satisfying to both the producers and the viewers. In the episode Marge Be Not Proud, we find Marge just wanting the perfect family photo for Christmas, but we can't say the same for Bart. The young man gets busted for stealing a video game from a store. This brought shame to the entire Simpsons family, especially Marge, who felt she had been a terrible mom to her son by not raising him properly, and that was the reason he did what he did. Don't expect Bart to go scot-free, because his parents banned him from taking part in any Christmas activity around the house. Bart thought of all the possible ways to win his mother's love again, but Marge thought otherwise when she saw Bart hiding something in his jacket. It was so heartwarming when Bart revealed his gift to Marge. It turned out to be a decent portrait of him with a receipt that bore the inscription "Paid in Full." Now that was a satisfying moment between mother and son. Bonus: Grandpa. One more heartwarming moment belongs to Grandpa. Grandpa made Marge believe in humanity. It seems when he's not yelling at the clouds, he is busy restoring his family's faith in the world. In season 33, episode 2, Marge believes that giving money to a lady that tries to scam her is a test of her faith in humanity, so she pulls out $20 for the woman, writing down her address.
I trust that you'll mail me the money,
Marge says. 1 week later, Marge sifts through the mail and receives a letter that's not a bill. Inside is a $20 bill and a note that reads, "Thank you for your trust." The whole family seems to be uplifted. Little do they know that Grandpa is the one who sent it, and the other woman was indeed running a scam.
Well, I'm on another $20, but I gave them something to believe in. Suckers.
Be kind like Grandpa and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to also like, share, and comment below other heartwarming moments we didn't include.